What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Today, I'm excited to bring you my favorite knives that I carried this week. It is Friday. I just finished the week out. It was actually very nice and refreshing to choose whatever knife I wanted, whatever day that I wanted, and then come back to you at the end of the week and talk about what I carried, why, and why I like carrying it. As you can tell, I am trying out a new background. Unfortunately, as much as I liked the wood look on the gray, it is causing a little bit of an issue when I'm actually trying to do a knife that has the monochromatic titanium and the satin finish blades. They're all just kind of bleeding in. So temporarily, I'm trying these mats out that I got. I have this one here, and then I have this lighter gray one here that I picked up as well. These are really nicely done, actually, by the way. So they'll make nice work mats if I do decide to go with a different type of wood background. I might try to just go with like a brownish red background and hope that it doesn't really offset too much. And then when I have something that has like a wood grain or a wood color or a natural micarta color or something like that, I can just pull one of these mats out. But I thought for today I'd go ahead and try it, especially because I have a couple of greens that I carried this week and I just want to see how it looks against the mat. So having said all of that, let me go ahead and jump into what I carried this week. Monday, I carried the Kershaw Sheepdog. This one here is the thumb hole variant, which has the flipper tab delete, which is really nice because it really gives a nice natural spot to choke up on when you're using this on your push cuts. It gets you right up against the blade's edge and it feels nice and secure. The ergonomics are outstanding. This particular one actually replaces my 154 cm variant. I did sell that one, which had the really nice micarta handles, and it actually had a pivot collar around the pivot, but they had this one at Blade HQ with the 10V blade, and the updated micarta from Kershaw has a little bit more texturing, whereas the micarta on the 154 cm variant was more smooth. Now, the one thing that I'm noticing is they did not stone wash the coating on this, and that might be something that I do as a mod myself, because I really did like that worn stone washed look as opposed to this plain satin. 10V, really nice, and the edge is done really well on this one. I did go ahead and break me down a cardboard box the other day with this, and man, this thing just cuts right through that cardboard. So mint might be a little bit too bright. I'll try the gray on the next video that I do just to compare, because it is a lighter gray. I still have that wood table underneath it here, and you can see it changes the contrast, but you see how much it blends in. I just needed something with some contrast so you can get good detail, a good detailed image of the knife. And I think that the gray might be too light, but I do want to try that just to see, because I think the gray might be toned down a little bit more. Anyway, let's see. Tuesday, a knife that I unboxed here recently, and boy, do I like this one. It feels like a premium version of this Sheepdog, but it doesn't have the same ergonomic lines. Ergonomics are good on the knife I'm about to bring out, but they're different. And it's not, this is more cleaver Warncliffe-ish type, like a blend. This one here is 100% a sheep's foot, and that is going to be the Concept Convict with the S35 yen. It has the, I don't think it's anodized. It is definitely some type of coating. If you notice here, it starts out light, and then they intentionally did the back of it like a really dark color. So I really like that. I love the titanium bronzed and the titanium pocket clip on here. This is definitely one of my favorite pocket clips. This one and the one that Kershaw does. Favorite pocket clips. Has plenty of clearance. Has a nice subtle ramp up and is really low profile to the knife. Really well done. I love the tip on this sheep's foot. Really good for utilities. Really good for those pull cuts and push cuts. The edge on this Concept, I broke down a box this week with it. The edge is amazing. I love S35 yen. It takes a really screaming sharp edge. Really nice. Frame lock is done really well. I haven't found that it gets in the way of the reverse flick for me if you're coming from underneath. And the thumb flick works really well. Just those two means of deployment, but it is buttery smooth. This one is staying centered, unlike the Protec. I was having a little bit of issue with the Protec, and I don't know if that's because it's the Damascus coating or if because it has the pivot collar in between the pivot and the pivot bolts. Could be part of the reason. But man, this thing really pops. I'm getting a little close. Really flies out. Really good ergonomics too. Right behind the blade, I found that it actually does put you in the perfect spot to be able to pull up and push down. So really do like this knife a lot. Enjoy carrying it, and man, it's really smooth. Access, really good access to the lock bar. Just really smooth, and I think it's going to keep breaking in. Let me show you that lockup on that too. Really good lockup. You can see the lock bar insert right there. Fantastic little EDC. Love the size of that thing, and super lightweight, little lower in profile than the Sheepdog, but still really nice. Wednesday I decided to carry my small knife of the week, and I actually had been missing carrying this one, and carrying it and using it a little bit on Wednesday just reminded me how much I really do like this knife, and that is the Savivi Mini Astakas. This is a nice EDC size knife, really low profile, extremely lightweight, very thin and slicey, and it does have a nice wedge back here. Even if you get their 10CR variant, it's really nice. Just such a thin knife, hollow grind. I mean, this is a slicer. Ergonomics feel really good. This just falls into hand in such a comfortable position, and no matter where you're putting your thumb, it puts you really close up to that edge while still giving you a nice sharpening choil. So when you go to use it through your push cuts, you know, your thumb's going to line that up and it's going to push straight through. Really like that. Lock bar access still remains to be okay in my opinion. It's not knocked down, and I think that's because they wanted to clean lines. They fortunately did throw that jimping in there, and that does help. But it is a little bit of a tight squeeze for me to get into there. I can get it and it's fine, but it's a little bit of a tight squeeze, and it is on bearings. All of these so far are on bearings, but this one just has really good action for such a small, lightweight EDC. That light blade comes flying out of there with no weight to help it with the momentum. Flipper tab's in the perfect spot. Flipper tab feels good no matter how many times you flip this. Just feels really good in hand. I really feel like this background is helping my camera pick up the foreground really good. Yeah, I feel like it's switching quicker, so I might keep this. I don't know, it's really bright. I'll try the light gray next time around and just see. Also, I forgot to mention, I did switch out to the old Elementum pocket clip. I didn't like the one that came on here. It was really pokey, and this really helped eliminate it. Keeps it really low profile. I feel that the pocket clip's there, but it's out of the way, and goes in and out of the pocket really nice too. Now on Thursday, because it came in the mail, I carried my Protec Malibu with the textured pattern on it. Really like this. It took a knife that I really loved and actually improved upon it. I was really surprised how much I like the grip that the little bit of diamond texturing does to this. Now, the one thing that I wish I would have done, and I probably will have to look up and see if someone else has the dimensions, but I'm wondering to get this diamond texturing if it caused the scales to end up being thinned out any. I wondered that because they are going down into the material, and I'm wondering if they're starting with the same thickness and then it's, you know, cutting it down a little bit to get that. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, I carried it all day Thursday. The day I got it and I did the unboxing, I held on to it the rest of that day. I've been flipping it a lot, and that lock stick, oops, it's starting to go away. I don't know if you can tell. Oh, the heater cut off perfect. But I mean, that lock stick is almost completely gone. No lock rock, no side to side play, no lash. at all in there. Just really, really well done. Centered, perfectly centered still. Still wants to focus on the other ones. There you go. And the jimping, gosh, I just really love this size of this knife, and it's just really well put together, and they put a fantastic edge on it. It is not the thinnest, sliciest EDC, but it is plenty thin behind the edge. That's midpoint. I don't know where this dead skin came from. I was putting I was putting a battery into that. I don't know if you ever noticed in my other videos, sometimes in the background you'd hear like a beep. Took me forever to figure it out. The Verizon Fios box out here had like a backup battery in it, and it wasn't recharging anymore, and it took me forever to figure out where it was because it would only beep like every 20 minutes or so, and I could never figure out if it was my garage door opener, if it what it was. So I figured it out, replaced the battery, and that is gone. That beeping is gone. I'm so happy. Anyway, back to the knife. Really thin behind, I mean, not really thin, thin enough behind the edge. Normally on knives like this, you can really see that it looks like my fingers are touching, but you can see a little bit of the thickness that far in, and then coming to the mid stop, you can see just how thick it is. But I mean, seriously, for an EDC, this is going to do everything that you need, and the edge on it is fantastic. So really glad to get that back into the rotation. I do miss the blue, the Malibu blue, or the Malibu blue that I had. I really liked that blue. It was really well done, but loving that texturing, and just glad to have that back. Such a solid build. In the review, you'll see where I talk about the price point. I'm not going to do that. I was just glad to have it back in pocket. Really missed it. Glad to have it back. Today, and what'll be back in my pocket when I leave out of here from doing this recording, is going to be my Spyderco Smock. This one here is the Blade HQ exclusive, and as you can tell, and if you didn't already know from other videos, I did go ahead and replace those really well done factory G10 scales with a set of fat carbon jungle wear scales made by my man Spence over there on Instagram, goes by Carbodize. These fit really well. I had the holes for the reversible pocket clip taken out, and I had the lanyard hole deleted as well. Took the lanyard out of there. As you can see here, you can see a little bit where that hole is, where it used to be, and you can really tell based off of the pocket clip, I guess. I think this is the right pocket clip for this, but I did get the Anno Green. I think it just gives it a really nice pop. Probably really hard to tell with this one off that background. So hard to plan on a good background. We'll see what the light gray does with the next one. Really loved this knife before, and just the transformation with the fat carbon and the Lynch Northwest deep carry pocket clip just really has me loving this knife even more if that's possible. Still have skiffs in the pivot. I do need to continue to play with the adjustment. As you know, when you remove the pivot screws to take them out, you got to play with them a little bit to make sure that you have them back in a good spot where you have just enough room for that guillotine drop shutness, but that you don't have any of the play. And I'll do this really careful. You can really check that. You see, it's really wanting to move there, but it doesn't have any lock rock. I'm moving the whole knife. Sorry, let me try to do it this way. Hard to do it that way. Let me do it from this side maybe. Yeah, so there you go. No lock rock with the lock disengage. No pivot lash. Just a phenomenal specimen of a knife. And really like the way this looks, and ergo's really good, and the fat carbon feels really nice on here. I'm really digging me some fat carbon. I know it's kind of new and probably a little trendy, but I just think that looks amazing. Has such a unique look and feels really good. Anyway, that is what is in my pocket today, Friday. That's what I carried all week. What did you guys carry this week? What was your favorite carry from this week, or what's in your pocket today? I'd love to know. Leave it in the comment down below. Don't forget that I do have the giveaway coming up. That video is out there for you to comment on, so make sure that you leave a comment in that video. Actually, I apologize. At the filming of this video, which will be going up on Monday, The video for the giveaway is coming out this week, so make sure that your notifications, make sure you're subscribed and that your notifications are turned on to all so that you get alerts when that video drops talking about the giveaway coming up this month. And do me a favor, leave a like for this video if you did enjoy it. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Thank you all for the support. I'm really excited to do a little giveaway as my own way to say thank you to all of you out there that are supporting me and the channel and the growth of this channel. And until next time, peace.